Hi, Izzy Bree here. Thank you for watching this video and clicking on it. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. I have 50 subscribers. I'm very excited. I'm very happy. I should make like a 50 subscriber milestone. I feel like I barely even have 50 friends. So thank you to the 50 people who are watching my videos or have subscribed to me. I really appreciate it. I saw that my watch time is around 3 minutes and 30 seconds, like 3.5 minutes. Sorry that my videos are not more engaging in a full way. I will make a too long didn't read section for you guys to skip to with a timestamp attached, and you can click on that, or you can just go to that and look at the too long didn't read portion at the end of the video. But if you do that, I would really appreciate and insist that you just mute the rest of the video and let it play and do something else. Watch another video because it really helps. And I work really hard on these videos. I try to edit them as much as I possibly can with the kind of schedule that I have and the kind of equipment that I have. So I would really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you. This video is going to start. Bye. Mom's not home. Quick, put on a face to make a YouTube video. I wanted to talk about something fun that I really enjoy, and that is the idea of the soft boy. What is a soft boy? Well, I have a few examples that I'll read to you, but I also wanted to just delve into what the heck is a soft boy? When did this idea come about? When did it get popular? You know, like, how can we discuss it? Dictionary definition of a soft boy is a guy who has a gentler side to him. His masculinity is less obtuse, and he takes deeper fascinations in soft philosophy, ideas of human existence. He's a little boy, he likes to wear sweaters, and he likes to talk about his interests in a very pure and passionate way. And that's what makes a soft boy. Someone who is at their base level pure and cozy and sweet. Those are the ideals of a soft boy. I think that currently Noah Centineo and perhaps the guy with the face who's really scary, and Timothy Chalamet, they're kind of the definitions of what a soft boy currently is. But soft boys can include men in their 40s and 50s. Bill Hader is referenced to be a soft boy. Aaron Hansen from the popular show Game Grumps and other things, he is called a soft boy. It was definitely, I think, a relic of Tumblr circa 2014-2015 when smol was also trending and being used to describe people. How has soft boy survived? How has it transcended Tumblr territory and not died with the other things that Tumblrites used to say? How has the idea of a soft boy continued in our everyday? I'm going to explore that in this video, hopefully. Probably have an outfit change at some point because my mom will come home. I will hurriedly wipe my face off so I can help her with the groceries and cooking or something of the sort. And then continue this video another day or two. Or maybe finish it with a voiceover. So for now, you get to enjoy... seeing this mug until it is gone forever. I think that we can now look to current media and current YouTubers who are incredibly popular as definitions of what a soft boy is. You have your Vine stars turned YouTube celebrities like Kurtis, Cody, Danny Gonzalez, Drew Gooden, and other people who are considered soft boys. I apologize if the Noel Miller fans are incredibly agitated that I left him out. I think Noel Miller skirts the line of what a soft boy is. I think he's considered a hard egg, like a boiled egg. He's kind of gotta crack the shell, and then you have to consider like how long you left it to kind of cook in the pot, because then it could be really gooey and you're like, oh my god, it's such a gooey egg. Or you can have like really just hard, like it's completely, like the yolk's completely solidified and you're like, this is so like delicious material. It depends on when you get him on stream and what he's talking about. I think those are prime examples of what soft boy culture is at the moment. So let's kind of analyze what makes them soft boys. They laugh a lot. They promote feminism. You'll see, especially in Kurtis Connor's videos when he's looking at famous TikTokers or even recently reality TV, an old reality TV dating show where he disparaged the men for being so awful to the woman there, and vice versa. She was also kind of like a raging asshole. But he oftentimes is talking about feminism, talking about political issues, activism, open about their emotions, open about their feelings, crying on camera in a natural way. Thinking about Cody Code's videos where he cried openly at videos that viewers sent him that were supposed to be like funny, or about like dating pranks or marriage pranks gone wrong, especially the couple pranks videos where the woman was just like actually hurt, things like that. I think it's an idea of openness about one's emotions, openness about one's feelings, and openness about one's passions and interests. I think also kind of a grungier skater boy aesthetic comes into play, which is a vestige, I would say, of the emo culture, grunge culture that populated the late 90s and early 2000s. You know, Kurt Cobain is often held up as the, I think, raging definition of what a grungy girl considers to be a soft boy, and has a lot of the characteristics of what a soft boy is, with emotionality, his look, his outfit, and presence. But I think the soft boy also kind of brings up issues of what gender is and complicates those ideas of what we think a boy or a man should be. Is it disparaging to call a grown man a soft boy when perhaps they are paying maybe a mortgage or two and try not to stress about their car note and things like that? Is that disparaging to be like, oh, hello, you are such a small, soft boy, and I just want to pat you on your head like you are a little dung. Come here, good boy, good boy. Is that patronizing? Doctors may agree. I couldn't find like a complete consensus on whether people find it disparaging to kind of refer to men this way. Some girls think that it's completely fine. Some girls think it's not. Some guys think it's completely fine. Some guys do not. But I think more and more there seems to be a trend where men are open to discussing the fact that they do want to be petted on the head like they are a pup. And you know what? Can't shame them. I think it also feeds into the next part of my conversation about the gendering of a soft boy and what it means to be a boy / man. I think what makes a soft boy is the fact that they are open, like I said thousands and thousands of times before. But it kind of goes into play the fact that we expect men to not act in the way that soft boys act. We expect men to be a little bit more brash, a little bit more uncouth maybe about their interests, expect them to like masculine things. If they're going to be in nature, they want to be fishing or hacking at wood, perhaps. We don't expect them to be open with their emotions and their feelings. It is happy and thrilling to see someone cry on TV and accept the fact that they're crying, and then they are called a soft boy. Is that bad? Is the title of a soft boy bad because our expectation of what a boy or a man should be is immediately barren of emotion, cold, and concise? Are we looking at alpha males to be our ideal versions of what men are, and then smiling at soft boys because they are not what we think that men are or should be? It's the kind of like thing where you go on a date with a girl or a guy and they're talking about their ex a lot, and they're like, oh my god, you completely like changed my idea of like what someone like should be. Like, you're so like nice, you're so sweet, you're so kind, like I'm so obsessed with like how you're acting, like you're so different from other people, you're so different from other girls, you're so different from other guys, like you're so like nice. That's stupid. And I have to say that I think soft boy culture is a heterosexual identity that has been, thankfully, a little bit co-opted by, you know, queer folk. But I think it's super het, because heterosexual people have such rigid ideas of what gender should be. Meanwhile, you know, you have your on-bees and everything, your NBs bopping around, you have your guys wearing skirts and having a good time, and I've thankfully seen a little bit more of like heterosexual, hetero-romantic, like men themselves beginning to kind of experiment with the ideas of gender and gender nonconformity, which is cool. but then they get called soft boys. And it's like, stop calling people soft boys when they're just people. I understand the soft boy aesthetic of having like curls that resemble Grecian gods, or perhaps the wool of a sheep where you just want to slowly pet it, unkink the knots within those curls, of blushing cheeks and crying eyes, you know, when Lucifer gets banished from heaven kind of painting type shit. I get it. I get the aesthetic of it. But it becoming a personality type, and it being ascribed to people who are just open about being people and open about their experiences, and kind of trying to break down the ideas within themselves that held themselves back for so long. Especially in these people like Cody and like Kurtis Connor, who are of an age where they grew up in that time, I think similar to where I grew up, where you had very like complicated ideas of like man and woman and how you should act, because then you'll get like freaking bullied. So you had guys who were like kissing each other and like joking around and like horse playing, but you couldn't do it too much and you couldn't do it too often, because then it became too real, then you're gonna get shamed. Same thing of like, I was scared to openly read Twilight because I was, you know, the emo girl that had no feelings and had no friends, and I didn't want anyone to think my reputation could be changed or tarnished by me enjoying a piece of literature, classic literature, might I add. So I was just thinking a lot about what this soft boy is and what it means in the cultural context of our today. If it's like good to encourage the idea of soft boy, and if it's bad to disparage against it. Even quickly perusing Tumblr, you have some really interesting soft boy takes. 2018 oppression list updated. Soft boys, 30-plus-year-old self-labeled fandom moms. Voltron anti discourses. Ryan Johnson, the guy who wrote Christmas Shrews. You know, I think after 2019, Ryan Johnson has like a little bit more acclaim after Knives Out, but I can see it. No, I can see it. Someone has an Eddie Chad softboy incel alignment chart, and Cancer is right on softboy all the way down, while Tauruses and I think Leos are softboy Chads. So that's interesting. Something that I really think is important to stress is by Enjoy Slurm. Hey, I know we're rejecting soft boys this year, but can we not throw trans boys and gay men under the bus while we do that? Because expressing femininity and desiring to be soft and in touch with your emotions isn't a bad effing thing, which I think is absolutely fine, and that's a valid thing. And to hook and bait them into thinking that they're so sweet and cuddly, it is very, very important that we not completely throw out people that identify as soft boy aesthetically, because it has everything to do with being in touch with yourself. I think it has similar feelings to the baby girl aesthetic, although the baby girl aesthetic is much more complicated with like Lolita culture and sex worker culture, so we don't have to go to that one. But I think it's important to say that not all soft boys should be hated, and they are not all bad. Soft boy aesthetics, I think, are actually very queer coded when it comes to identifying characters. You have Yamaguchi Tadashi from Haikyuu, you have Peter Parker, I think I saw Eddie Kasprak from the It fandom, he was identified as a soft boy. A lot of K-pop idols are of course identified as soft boys because they toe that line very, very well, and I think that is one of those things of marketed soft boyness and kind of marketed queerness that goes with the K-pop fandom and K-pop boy bands. Oh, here it is. Timothy freaking Chalamet. I knew it would come up. Look at it, look at it. Timothy, I searched up soft boy with an I, and of course Timothy Chalamet came up. It took a few scrolls, which I'm actually kind of surprised at, but there he is. The Joker also came up as soft boy, which I think kind of plays into the interesting kind of manipulative qualities that soft boys can be. You have a lot of alpaca stops, Adam Driver, aka Kylo Ren. That's a weird problem. Someone asked, what's the soft boy discourse? or understanding based on what we've seen. Cis dude who apparently calls himself a soft boy, quote unquote, or his audience does, or something I don't even actual predator. Cis women, remember that even feminine men can be predators. Everyone sounds legit. Cis Tumblr. Anyone who calls himself a soft boy is a predator. Trans men and ondies, which is non-binary people. Actually, where most of the people who use that word, so maybe don't. Radfems. Yeah, right. That just proves it's accurate. Radfems meaning turfs. Cis Tumblr. You heard them. Softboy culture is all about predation. Trans people who are effing tired of huge swaths of Tumblr taking all their political stances from Radfems. Size and Dawn, they're down with cis shirts. This is something on Tumblr that apparently happened. I wasn't there for it, so I don't know. But I think it's also a really good point because I saw a post on Twitter that this guy, he quote retweeted a video of a guy kind of trolling around on TikTok in a skirt and said, "You women, or women nowadays, think that because men do this, they're immediately good people, but these guys are doing it all for the clout from women." Which is a hot take, and of course it got completely popular because a lot of people agreed. And then obviously the backlash from, like, you know, people who aren't like cis het people were like, hey, actually no. And it was this whole thing. Maybe something similar happened on Tumblr, I can only assume. Librius says, I hate the mindset of Tumblr that as long as someone identifies partially with manhood that they're fair game to get shit thrown at them. Like, I get it with cis het men, but this happens to trans and non-binary men too. And then the people doing said shit refuse to acknowledge what they're doing when they're called out on it. Me, soft boys, me who killed Tumblr soft boys. Archie Andrews, the ultimate soft boy, Archie Andrews. Oh, we finally hit the aesthetic boards, people. We've gone too deep. Hello. So my phone died. So this is my iPad that I'm talking on, and I will continue to talk on. Hi. So I wanted to read a post from someone named Kurtis on Tumblr, trans mass person, to be told that I'm allowed to be traditionally masculine. It's comforting for my dysphoria to embrace my presentation as not undercutting my identity. Then, of course, very uncomfortable for people to constantly pick at the term and the people who use it. What it comes down to is treating people like they're infantile because they happen to be feminine, which is particularly gross in trans spaces. I absolutely understand that trans men deserve the space to be unapologetically masculine. Everyone deserves to present and be treated in a way that they feel comfortable, but I really wish the expression of this didn't come at the expense of people who aren't. Which is a good point to discuss. I don't hate the soft boy term. I think it's weird that people hate it so much vehemently when the idea of like baby girl culture, butch girl culture, bra girl culture, e-girl culture, and all of this BS is getting thrown around so flippantly that you have to single out soft boys. Because soft boy is one of those things that has become, I think in a sense, uniquely absorbed by queer people and gender non-conforming people, non-binary people, trans mass people. And I have to say, I have been someone who makes fun of soft boy aesthetics. I think it's kind of hilarious when guys try perhaps too hard to come off as being as gentle and as unthreatening as possible. I understand that it can be a luxury for a lot of people, but for me, it kind of seems a little bit put on. And that's what I take it as. That's what I take it to be, which is a fault of my own, but that's my own kind of experience with soft boy culture. But I don't hate it. I personally really enjoy the style that I see a lot of people who identify as soft boys wearing and using, you know, really big fluffy sweaters that take away the clothing options from people who are actually larger and maybe need them is unnecessary, but it does look a little bit cute. I will not lie. You can perhaps find something that's one size fits all so you don't take things away from bigger bodied people. That would be nice. But the cute, like, chunky sweaters, trim belts with the cuffed chino pants and really nice socks and shoes, or like cute shorts with like a lovely little shirt moment, the fluffy mused hair. It's nice. And I think it's really, really comfortable for a lot of people who don't want to or never felt like they identified with the traditional masculine presentation that society pushes on us. Our society makes us think is what is perfect. You know, Kurt Cobain is a legendary person, and I think he's one of the original soft boys.
I can't go all the way back to, you know, maybe Oscar Wilde, perhaps. I think that the crash post-hedonism, you know, the weeping and tearful woes and long sonnets to your partner who won't accept you and got married and left you in the dust and won't admit he's gay, that can be considered soft boy aesthetic.
As I predicted, I am finishing this up in post several days later. Too long didn't read version. Softboy aesthetics are fun and they're fine as long as you don't use them in a destructive means. What is a destructive means? Destructive means is to appeal to other people purely on an aesthetic basis, to try to reel hook, line, and sinker people into your confines. That is not cool and that is not okay. Softboy aesthetics have to do with embracing your emotions, embracing your passions, and letting yourself be free when it comes to expressing yourself. And that can be either with just your verbal usage, just like your emotions in general, or it can have to do with your actual state of dress. Comfy cozy sweaters, comfy cozy pants, messy hair, whatever like silly little glasses you want, whatever shoes feel comfortable, just being purely, happily comfortable, like a cherub that took a vacation from stabbing people with love poison and instead decided to be good now. They're very queer coded in a lot of spaces, and a lot of times queer people, like gender non-conforming people, trans, non-binary people, they use soft boys as a finding some sense of explaining themselves and describing themselves when it comes to their own personal aesthetics in a radical way. And I think maybe this can like go off into the radical nature of the soft boy, the radical nature of embracing one's feelings, embracing one's true heart, and letting the world see that. But that is a video probably for another day. So thank you for watching this video so very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by this busy hive, and now I'm gonna buzz away. I hope that you can look at some of my other videos. I plan on making more. Hopefully I can make videos on a regular-ish schedule of Wednesdays and Fridays, posted around 3 p.m. Yeah, bye!